but we'll just have to see. This would be the more offensive choice. As Peter right now seems like he has settled on Big Daddy towards the bottom side, and there it is.
Yeah, so going for the Nautilus, my one concern about the Nautilus is when the engage comes in.
Zins out can make this dive work. This could be dangerous. Let's see how Gen.G are going to handle it. There is the start onto Dura. The Shattering Strike's fantastic though, as Peter is definitely dead. First blood goes over to Gen.G and don't leave the next two. So that will be an objective counter picked up here for Gen.G. The Drake is still actually live, as we did see Kaz, you know, thrust his spear into it one time, but otherwise not too much else going to come out of it.
Yeah, that was out again, but I'm not
yeah,
sure
that's the problematic part. He is going to be waiting underneath this turret. There's the ulti, bounces to the other side, but it's a mini taunt and a very dead Aurora.
Yeah, that was Canyon is not a great outcome of that situation. Lockdown will get some play called of his own, but really not as much in comparison. There's two grubs and just the...
Just taking this, picking the gap there is Peter.
That's a difficult choke to approach from if Dura wants to make something happen.
Well, Peter just not going to be able to help take this Rift Herald, but can they find themselves a fight? That's the question. Good vision is here, but Duro is just going to get exploded, but able to flash himself out. The double knockup comes through as Galio makes his way in. Crescent Guard to try and keep Kaz alive as he flashes away. That's a lot of damage here, but it's mainly onto a clone, as now we're just driving Shelly through Peter, who does manage to buffer a pretty nice dredge line, but meanwhile, on the other side of the fight, the Winds of War devastating KT, and lots of people taking lots of damage, but no one dying except that turret.
I was not interested, want to back away. The ult from the Aurora does slow things down, but if not, Gen.G now looking for this red buff. They might have found Kaz.
They definitely did. There's the Cyclone. Killer Instinct comes in as Kaz able to cross on over to the red buff. The flash comes forward and Kaz will be taken out, but the max range hook comes in from Peter, finds the triple knockup as well. Still, Docdom doesn't quite have the damage as Perfect is coming down, and there is the kill. It's unfortunately Peter that locks it down, then the rest of them as Perfect says no.
Reward in the back of that play.
This could swing the goal completely back.
100%. And this is, you know, Docdom getting the value.
I don't think he's going to be able to do so, and I don't think Perfect can defend this one either. So that will go down, a 1-for-1 trade, but inner worth more than the outer. Hasn't quite pressed the Gwen's immune button, as Peter just takes a lot of his health bar, but not too much more, as there's a Magnus Storm to come in. The heroic entrance comes down as well. It's Perfect that locks down the dragon, but can they stay alive in this fight as Kaz is looking for Keen, and he does manage to take him out. Docdom still pretty high on the health bar, but it's Peter that's going to be taken out first, followed immediately by Canyon, as now Perfect dives into stealth. The flash out there from Ruler, but they are now on the wrong side of the rift, and Gen.G in a really awkward position. The taunt. Chovy finds the big taunt. This is the Chovy position, but still, he is going down so incredibly low, and not this time, Chovy. This time it's BDD having that last laugh, and KT will crush them.
So KT can charge forward and finish them off. It gets a little bit messy, but the spell shield from Docdom was so big. He goes down, but he's able to trade with Ruler, and that means they can clean up the fight.
I really loved how BDD played that as well, using Tib.
And apparently they need to stop Baron.
Well, that is exactly what they're going to do, as Peter does find a hook here onto Dura. Let's see whether they do turn, as Canyon and Ruler are sticking on this Baron for quite some time. Keen on a flank angle. There's the Magnus Storm from Dura that brings him in. Ruler with the Killer Instinct, but he immediately just gets ulted by everyone. Still, the Sivir is going to go down, and Gen.G find their mark. Perfect is now in so much trouble as Kaz trying to deal with Keen. The flash out from Perfect is exactly that, though, and he takes down the Gwen. Still, BDD cannot stand up to Chovy. The fight, some needlework, but Peter still pretty healthy. Chovy making his way in. The Winds of War come down. There is Duro with the Magnus Storm on the only one is BDD. Finds the Black Lord. Ruler is executed! And the Between Worlds is gorgeous here for Perfect as well. Still the three-man taunt. And Chovy just showing that it's real difficult to kill this Galio, but kill him they will, as KT look to ace them again. Chovy's move in. And Keen looking for that flank angle one more time. They dive in. The Magnus Storm's fantastic, as here's the Wombo combo out of Gen.G. And the Sivir goes down first. Ruler will soon to follow, though, as Canyon's also dead. They've taken out the Rel at the same time, and the KT War Machine will not be stopped here today. As Peter just happy to suicide to the Baron. He's like, look, guys, you don't deserve to take damage. You're playing so well. I will. But he almost dies to the Baron. Doesn't actually do so. It's Kaz in this pit by himself. And we'll see whether he waits the couple of seconds to give this over to... No, he didn't. He gave it as far as this Rebel Baron power play. It's still 2 minutes on the clock. Doctum now, moving into this mid lane, will be able to take down this inner turret. That'll be the first that they'll be able to take. Slightly uncomfortable position. Still able to just be tricksy. Gets out of the way of the Gwen. Now the inner turret is going to fall as Duro in so much trouble. Look at Peter.
He's blocking.
Well, they are going to engage on the perfect here, but look at this. They just can't do anything about it, and it's such a problem because most of the time, an Aurora cannot stand by herself and fend off a 1v1 situation, right? Like, it's just not a thing that she can do. Charging this stun. He will have it up. As now Keen, Mega Cones to get on over towards Perfect and Peter. The Needleworkers come on through there as there's the interrupt onto Chovy. I don't know whether he's exactly the target that they're looking for as Keen goes golden right in the middle of the fight. The Magnet Storm is onto everyone, and now Ruler has a huge shield as he gets into the back line. They've wiped out BDD. The flash out from Perfect. He's not offering the damage anymore. And KT! Oh, it was looking so good until it wasn't.
After all that, Gen.G finally get that Perfect engage. The AoE comes in, and I think they're just looking to end the game. Perfect, long death timers and his teammates. I think it might not be enough. There's just one minion wave coming in now, but there's another coming in soon. I think they can do it. I think they can end.
Oh God, we'll see whether Perfect can hold this off. But like you say, it's going to be such a difficulty. He's on the broomstick, looking to deal with the minions, does a decent job at that. And there are super creeps as well, but here is another minion wave like you're talking about, and these structures do not last. And out of the jaws of defeat, Gen.G say no. You're gonna have to try better than that, KT.
It's a heartbreaker. Playing into squishies now with how much damage he got in his most recent buff. To see Duro go for the Bard, which isn't a traditional sort of engage support, but I think when you think of how KT's composition wants to play, if you want to close distance, I think Bard Dragon, everything going well for Gen.G. We do see KT move and look for the grubs though. And in fairness, I think if they get triple grubs here, they're pretty happy overall.
Yeah, honestly, grubs, very, very good for this composition.
Yeah. But Gen.G responding well, I think, to this mid lane pressure that KT are consistently trying to apply.
So Kaz will be able to finish this one off. It is going to be a Cloud coming up next, so sad for me that there's no Cloud Soul. It could be an Infernal, Mountain, something like that. Could also be another Chemtech, which would be worrying. This is a Ziggs game, so, I mean, Orcs is going to be paying attention, so we can't really blame him for
I want it to be an Infernal, I really do.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, that would be pretty peak. All right, Ghoulie Wall goes down. That's going to block Duro. And cease and desist, and I think Perfect is going to acquiesce. And where have we seen this play before? Yes, it was last game.
I don't think they needed
this one that does give you that little bit more durability as the flash forward into the Solar Flare here. Zenith Blade will connect. Tempered Fate is going to buy Duro a little bit of time, but I don't know whether it's going to save him. As never mind, they get over the wall though, and there it is. Doctum hits him with that water balloon. So never mind, he was absolutely fine the whole time. Oh, okay. Well, there is still a turret here as the minefield goes down. Canyon is definitely dead, and Doctum will be taken out by the Dawning Shadow, but I think he's okay with it. Trading that 1-for-1.
Yeah, good chain around there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get away from the ult from Ruler, so it's a 1-for-1, but Jungler dead.
All right, another kennel goes down here as Kaz just needed to press out on anyone to try and keep himself healthy, and down he will go. Tempered Fate over the wall, just predicting the flash, but Kaz doesn't press the button. And KT kind of dropping the ball in that particular moment.
Bit of a disaster to take down the enemy jungler and then lose out on the Dragon. Ruler and Duro just running Kaz down. Unable to get in range of either of them to really get any healing from that Sundered Sky. And do I need the flash? Don't need the flash, and in the moment you're like, I'm just going to flash, I don't want to risk it.
And I think I respect that.
And I feel the regret afterwards. First tower
strength still on the cards for KT. Even though Gen.G just need to focus on getting this next dragon if they want to take that one down for themselves as well, but that could be where the next fight is. Only 500 gold in it between these two squads, so nothing much at all. And I feel a little bit better for what KT can actually make with this composition later on in the game. It is a little finicky. It is not necessarily like your very standard team fighting composition or anything like that, but they have infinite wave clear and theoretically great split push with this Yorick, as the wall is going to take BDD out of here. And the Mega Cone, because of course it is a Chemtech Soul again. Okay, Keen in so much trouble. The Zenith Blade says that's a dead Ambassador. Chovy now trying to run his way. Okay, Duro in a whole host of trouble. Mega Inferno. Okay! Oh, what? Okay, well, Doctom, I guess, can just say goodbye to whoever he'd like.
Yeah, that's
Chovy in the ghoulie wall as the Maiden getting involved as well. Hextech Minefield comes on through because just going to ride Shelly into that turret. Will be able to take it down. Just dead, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they both...
Okay, well, now he just walks up, takes a turret shot, and maybe the Ziggs isn't even going to hit him as the bouncing bomb is going to go wide, but the Zenith Blade is still going to connect. He finds the Mega Inferno Bomb! And that is a strike. People are going to stand up and recognize we're going to start seeing Ziggs bans because this champion is in a pretty ridiculous spot right now. As down goes the turret. I don't know whether it's necessarily going to allow them to secure it without a fight here. As the Cosmic Binding is so good there from Duro. Peter taking a lot of damage as he does make his way out with that magical journey. Mega Cones to get back to the rest of the team as well. As Canyon makes his way over the wall, is perfect on a flank angle. Ruler taking so much damage, so this Ziggs is a monster, and oh my goodness, that wasn't even the sweet spot, and Ruler is almost dead, but he's not, and gets the piercing darkness out. The Ziggs is still popping off though, as Canyon down so incredibly low, and it is a bloodbath once again in this mid-game as KT take over.
Decimation from KT there. Gen.G not able to challenge the backline, and BDD sliding through the portal to blow them up. Oh, Duro.
Okay, yeah, he is on a magical journey, and he didn't even need to press the button, as there it is, the Mega Cone going to get him out of there. Just bard things, I guess, as KT are on the Otacon. And yeah,
no, I'm excited to see this. He's going through again.
All right, there we go. Seismic Shock. There's Otacon go down as the Maiden was helping Kaz. Yeah, Perfect's like, yeah, dude, I do need to ask you now, is this your favorite game of the year so far?
I think it might be.
As, okay, well, the public execution onto Perfect here. He's looking to see whether he can keep himself alive, but he can't. As once again, just as they do peel away, and Perfect does spot out Canyon there with that Morning Mist. As in goes Peter, actually. Mega Inferno Bomb just misses everything entirely. And Peter does have to try and get out of there, but he's not going to be able to. And look at the sad. Yep, Kennel goes down, Chovy able to walk around it as Perfect is making his way in. 50% health on the Drake. The KT are looking for the fight. Tempered Fate does absolutely nothing, as there is the Drake secured for Gen.G. That is Soul Point available, but can they keep themselves alive and find the team fight? Mega Inferno Bomb onto 3 is gigantic. Flash out from Canyon Keen, now being that Soul frontline. And Gen.G just holding them at bay, and the catch onto Perfect is too good! And Gen.G are able to eviscerate him. Now it's Canyon that makes his way forward. It's ambitious, but it's working! Chovy taking a lot of damage, but dishing out way more. It's a double kill as the Ziggs goes down! And out goes BDD as the last man standing.
Once again, KT in control, but they fumble it in a critical team fight. BDD looking for a pick, the flash in!
Oh my goodness, Chovy just getting on top of him here as BDD really wants to thread the volley. That looked a little bit
strong. They push forwards. Perfect ends up overstepping though, and they turn onto him. Consistently, the most KT you can ever imagine. It's just, they're always KT.
They really are. A bit fiendish as well, as BDD, as we can see in the inventory, as in goes Canyon, looks for that backline as they're looking to just execute Doctom, but that's a great satchel still. It's a trade of a buy for a Doctom, and Doctom was so much more important. Ruler is still standing here as Kaz just walking away. Ruler deals with the turret, and Gen.G, I think they have just found their window to take over this game completely.
Gonna be able to push up mid here with the Baron as well. Not really enough wave clear from these two to do much against them. The two melee champions cannot step up against this 4-man from Gen.G. The CC would just mean insta-death. They'll take this mid inhibitor. Probably back off after this, but the lead now. We saw so much of this game defined by a 2,000, maybe 3,000 at most gold lead. 8,000.
Oh, man. And we thought that it was a sad one last time around for KT, but that was sad because it looked like there was no hope. And the problem with this one is it looked like there was hope until it was absolutely gone. Peter goes in once again because he needs to try desperately to do something. BDD does the same thing, but the Nexus is still going to reach the same fate. Gen.G, a 2-0 over KT that could have just as easily been a 0-2.